Howdy folks, and welcome to Star Wars Battlefront with the mighty Jingles. Not nearly as mighty as you may have been led to believe, because Star Wars Battlefront is of course a pretty fast-paced first-person shooter, and I'm old and crap, so don't expect miracles when you're watching the gameplay here. But I've been waiting for this to come out for so long, and oh, that John Williams music. You can pretty much just put the Star Wars music and sound effects in absolutely anything, and I would play it. Even if I'm not good at it, I would play it. Because it's proper Star Wars. It's original trilogy Star Wars, with stormtroopers and X-Wings and TIE fighters and all the good stuff. None of that prequel nonsense, although I have to admit the clone troopers were pretty good. But, and they'll almost certainly be available as DLC further on down the line, but for the moment it's original trilogy Star Wars, and it's absolutely glorious. So we're going to take a look at exactly what is available in the Star Wars Battlefront beta test, which is freely available for absolutely anybody to download and start playing before the actual game itself gets released closer to Christmas. So heads up, we're going in. At the moment there are only 2 multiplayer and 1 single player or co-op survival mission available. It's only available in normal difficulty in the beta test, but it's immense fun, even if it does get old pretty quickly. But obviously this is just a beta test, it's just a taster of what's going to be available when the full game is released. So let's have a look at the Survival Tatooine single player mission. Unfortunately you have to play as Rebel Scum. Anyway, blasters. Yeah, I haven't tried the DDR3 heavy blaster, so we're going to give this a go.
Not my best landing.
Hey, let's go!
If you're sitting there thinking, oh, this is a really nice looking pre-rendered intro, this is what the game looks like. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, it turns out the DDR3 doesn't actually have a zoom in. Well, it does, but it's not very good. So, we have to survive against 6 waves of stormtroopers and other things. And, oh, wow, I think I found some stormtroopers. And the first wave is just standard sandtroopers. Here we go. This is the maximum zoom you get with this thing, which is, well, anyway, wave 1 done. It's kind of weird because you get a blaster pistol and it's got a proper zoom in scope sight, but with the heavy blaster rifle, no zoom. I don't know. I'll just work here. Look at this. Just... oh, mission briefing. Picked up a charge. This is ammunition basically for my number 2 power-up, which powers up my weapon. Here they come. The graphics are, and the sound is just absolutely unbelievable. Wait until I show you the Hoth mission. It is... oh, he's there. Little bugger. And he brought his friend with him. This guy's a shock trooper. He takes a few more hits to kill. The third wave is where you get your first big surprise. And one of my, well, I mean, there were multiple oh my god moments. Oh, they've dropped a pod. Right, okay, I have to go and claim the pod, and that drops power-ups, and I'm going to need the power-ups because in wave 3, yeah, it's not stormtroopers. Got to get up here. And yes. An ATST. Yeah, I think I'm going to need a bigger gun. Okay. Use the jetpack there. Where I can hear him. Here he comes. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need a bigger gun. I need to claim this pod quick. Stick around the pod, defend it. Don't let any Imperials get any near it. Drop some grenades on in there. Waiting for the grenades to recharge and go around behind him. Jetpack again. You can't actually fly using the jetpack, but you get a kind of super jump power-up using it. Right, we've defended the pod. Okay, got to get up here and get the pod power-ups and use them to knock out that ATST. And please, please, please be something I can actually use. It's completely random what the pod drops. What do we got? An anti-vehicle turret. Spot on. Right. The walker's headed off down there to try and follow me. Deploy the first turret. What have I got? Another anti-vehicle turret. Hey! Let's get this deployed. Oh crap, here he comes. Ah! No, not good. Turrets are opening up. What's the third power-up going to be? Alright, not bad. Right, let's use this blaster cannon. Give this guy the good news. That's pretty lucky, actually. I've never been this lucky with pod power-ups whenever there's an ATST that needs taken out. Normally I get the most completely useless stuff, like an anti-infantry turret. What good is that to me? That's a bloody all-terrain scout transport walker. I need something big. So, you know, 2 anti-vehicle turrets and a heavy blaster cannon works out quite well. Come on! Stay still so I can shoot you. There we go. The weapons have unlimited ammunition, by the way, but the more you fire them, the more they heat up, and if they overheat, you have to wait for them to cool down before you can fire again. Fairly standard stuff. Come on, got him.
Very impressive. However, scanners indicate more Imperials headed your way.
You might notice that a Mon Calamari cruiser appeared as you progress through the single-player mission. Other stuff is going on in the background just to indicate, oh, hang on, what we got? Oh, we got snipers this time. Right. Where are they? You have a look down at the map there, you can see the map border. Yeah, they are. It flashes red to indicate where the bad guys are coming from. That's a big one. Shock trooper, you can take a few hits to go down. And as long once you start taking damage, you just back off and oh, whoa, 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 kill them, kill them, kill them. Yeah, back off, and your health recovers. Oh, there's the sniper. Scout trooper, bingo, wave 4 done. 2 more waves to go. You'll notice the Star Destroyer up there is actually exchanging fire with a Mon Cal cruiser that turned up. It's just sort of an indication of how you're progressing through the various different waves. More stuff starts happening around you, and this time we have jump troopers. Alrighty. It would be really nice if some of them would come from this direction, so... Oh, and they did! So I can use the heavy blaster cannon on them. Thanks, guys. Oh, it's brought a friend. Oh, and that guy's popped a personal shield. Right, so it's a waste of time standing there shooting at him with a shield up. Need to wait for the shield to expire before I can kill him. Come on! Die! Where's the jump trooper? Oh, actually, I think that was the jump trooper. There he is. The jump trooper also has the personal shield as well as a jetpack. There he goes. Shield's down. Got him. One of them left. Where is he? There. Wave 5 done now for wave 6. There's destructible scenery in this as well, by the way. These sand people huts, for example. There you go. You can't hide behind them forever. Anyway, what's waiting for me in this wave? Oh, they're dropping another pod. Alright, where is it? Oh, I didn't see it land, but the icon just popped up indicating where it is. So, the final wave. They basically throw everything at you in wave 6. Shock troopers, stormtroopers, snipers, and an ATST. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. Got to get up here and claim the pod. There's a battle going up there between the Mon Cal cruiser and the Star Destroyer. Okay, pod claimed. Now I have to defend it. Some grenades down there. Oh, here comes a jump trooper. His shield's down. He's airborne. Got him. Taking some hits. Health down to 65. Oh, sniper. Got too close for comfort. And there's the ATST down to 53 health. 45 health. Come on. Come on. Stop shooting me. Stop shooting me. Oh, this is no good. I'm going to have to get out of here. No. Health's back up. Health's down again. Pop some grenades and get the hell out of here. Let my health recover. Alright. I haven't picked up any charges to... when you pick up the charges, it activates the number 2 card, and it basically gives you a weapon an ion effect, which allows you to do more damage to vehicles like the ATST, but I haven't picked up any charges. I need to reclaim this pod quick. There's just the ATST left. My grenades are ready. Here he comes. Back into cover. Luckily the pod is not destructible scenery. Oh, I'm taking a lot of hits here. Pod's claimed. Now I just have to defend it. Oh, it's been reclaimed. No, screw this. I'm getting out of here. Jetpack again. Ow, ow, stop shooting me. Go away, you big bugger. He's taking a lot of damage, though. Grenades are back up. It looks like I'm actually going to be able to take him down without using any of the pod power-ups. Yep, he's nearly done. Come on, come on. Come on, got him.
Great work. We've driven back the Empire. We're coming to pick you up.
So, that's the only single-player content that's currently available in the Star Wars Battlefront beta. You can play it in single-player or co-op with another player, but there are also 2 multiplayer maps. This one is set on the planet of Sullust, which is the planet that Lando Calrissian's co-pilot in the Millennium Falcon, Nien Nunb, in Return of the Jedi, that's where he was from. It's amazingly useless shit, I know, isn't it? Don't ask me how to change the oil on a car, but the co-pilot in the Millennium Falcon from Return of the Jedi, yep, I can tell you what planet he was from. Don't ever change Jingles. Anyway, this is a very, very small multiplayer map. It's basically capture the flag. Instead of flags, however, you have to capture escape pods. You tend to die and get kills very, very quickly on this map. It's kind of like playing a War Thunder arcade battle, except Star Wars. This time, of course, I'm an Imperial Stormtrooper, as I should be, with the E11 blaster rifle. Well, blaster carbine, if we're going to be completely accurate about it. I've got one of these, by the way. And the Stormtrooper outfit. Yeah, I wore it at the EGX show last year. Really, really uncomfortable, but totally, totally worth it. The pictures looked amazing, so yes. I have to admit, not a massive fan of this map, largely because it's a very, very tight, small, multiplayer, first-person shooter capture the flag map, and the person with the fastest reflexes wins, and my reflexes are terrible, so I don't do particularly well on it. Much, much more of a fan of the Hoth map, however, which has rolling objectives and is absolutely awesome. And that's what we're going to show you next. I just need to, execute some more rebel scum first. The Hoth map recreates the Imperial AT-AT Walker ground assault on Echo Base on the planet Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back. This map involves a rolling assault using AT-AT Walkers on the Rebel Echo Base power generator. The Walkers are pretty much unstoppable. The only way they can be taken out is if the Rebel players activate enough uplink towers in order to call in a Y-Wing bomber assault on the Walkers. Once the Y-Wings land successful hits on the Walkers then become vulnerable for a limited period of time, and the Rebels can actually start doing some damage to them. So it does require quite a bit of cooperation and coordination on the Rebel team in order to not lose this map. And this is an online multiplayer game, so in my experience anyway, it's almost impossible for the Empire to lose. I have seen that Frankie on PC in 1080p has recommended a way in which you can actually take the Walkers out pretty quickly. One of the power-ups that you can pick up is an orbital laser bombardment. And if you save that for when the Walker is vulnerable, you can pretty much one-shot them. But I've never seen anybody do it. I've actually seen, when these Walkers are vulnerable, people sitting there with blaster pistols shooting at them when they're sitting right next to an anti-vehicle defense turret, and that's just... But then again, I do kind of have a bit of an unfair advantage over the majority of people who are going to be playing this game, because I'm such a massive Star Wars original trilogy geek. I actually know what an Echo Base anti-infantry and anti-vehicle turret look like, so... I suspect that most people playing Battlefront wouldn't have a clue what the difference between the two turrets was, but if you are in control of one of these anti-vehicle turrets, at the time at which these Walkers become vulnerable, you can do a lot of damage to them. So, just so you can tell the difference when you're playing, this is an anti-infantry turret. You can still do damage to vehicles in it, but it's primarily for shooting at infantry. And this is an anti-vehicle turret. It's much more slow firing, but it's got a much bigger punch, ideal for firing at AT-STs, and when they're vulnerable, AT-ATs. You can actually still damage a vulnerable AT-AT with a blaster pistol, but you won't do a lot of damage, so if you know what the different turrets look like, and there's one nearby when the Y-Wings have disabled the AT-ATs, like that one up there, which is coming under some serious fire from, there goes a Y-Wing overhead right now, yeah, use one of the turrets instead. Now, if like me, you're old and slow, and you don't have the reflexes of a rattlesnake on crack, you might be thinking, great, another fast-paced, first-person shooter where I am just going to suck. And yeah, that's probably true, but there are power-ups that you can pick up randomly scattered around the battlefield, like this one, which gives you control of an AT-ST Scout Walker. And, well, when you're riding around in one of these, even if you're old and crap like me, it's practically impossible not to get some kills. The Scout Walkers are vulnerable to small arms fire, however, particularly things like weapon turrets. So, you know, if you're driving around in an AT-ST and you do spot a couple of weapon turrets like these ones, take them out, because any rebel who knows what he's doing is going to jump into one of those anti-vehicle turrets and bring your ride to a very, very rapid halt. And stomping around the battlefield in an AT-ST is fun, but it is a pale shadow of the joy that you're going to experience if you get yourself the controls of an all-terrain armoured transport. Yep, the AT-STs are not the only power-up tokens that are scattered randomly around the battlefield. You can also drive yourself an AT-AT, and, well, you pretty much can't be killed. It's as close to God mode as you're going to get. Stomping around Hoth in one of these things is probably the most fun I can ever remember having with my clothes on. It is just amazing. And it's probably the source of most of the kills that I get when I'm playing Star Wars Battlefront, because, you know, as we've already established, I'm old and crap. But it is glorious. It's basically God mode for 1 minute. That's as long as it lasts. When the timer runs out, you go straight back to whatever it was you were doing before you jumped into the command seat. The big guns are in the chin, big old turbo lasers, and they're really, really good for knocking out installations. They're also not too bad for very, very quickly ending the life of any rebels who are foolish enough to get caught in the blast. The cheek-mounted guns like this, these are more rapid firing and more useful for taking out infantry. You also get the option to call in, and it's on a very, very tight cooldown, an orbital turbo laser bombardment from the Imperial Star Destroyers parked in orbit. Here we go. Wherever your crosshair is pointed at the time that you trigger it is where the bombardment goes in. There it is. Anybody in Ground Zero gets the warning and better get the hell out of Dodge before that thing just pulverizes the area, because it's pretty much instant death. The battle continues until either one of two things happen. Either the rebels manage to coordinate their uplinks enough to call in sufficient Y-wing strikes to knock out the two AI walkers, or the Imperials manage to get the walkers close enough to the Echo Station power generator, which you can see right in the background over there, knock it out and win the match. And that is Star Wars Battlefront, or at least the beta test of Star Wars Battlefront. A lot of fun, although I have to admit I did die a little inside when I saw stormtroopers bunny hopping their way across the surface of Hoth, but it is an online multiplayer first-person shooter, so, you know, what do you expect? The beta is not going to be lasting for much longer, but you can start downloading and pre-installing the game on November the 13th, and the full game with all of the features unlocked becomes available on November the 18th. I suspect it's going to be one of those games that I love and hate at the same time. I mean, love it because it's Star Wars, and hate it because I'm going to be absolutely terrible at it. But it's definitely a game that I'm going to be playing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, folks, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.